Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We are back down Ben's allotment today, and on today's video he's going to show us how he is going to do his giant onions. Right then, Ben, giant onions, is it?
Yep, today is the giant onions. Another
Nice.
lovely day down the plot.
So, what we got?
This, again, at the compost harvester 9000, so I'm going to do a quick mix. I have got a lot more than just 12, but the competition we're doing on site, I've given everyone 12 onion plants.
Okay.
So I am going to plant more, but I'm only going to allow these to be entered in the competition, just so it's fair. So
right.
Even if I get a bigger one from another method, I can't use it, just these 12.
Okay.
So first of all, what's in here was for my strawberry mix. So is a bit of topsoil compost, standard. So I'm just going to add, that's about a bucket in there already, so it's about 30 litres. So this is just multi-purpose.
So multi-purpose compost, probably 2 buckets, yeah?
No, one multi-purpose. And I am going to use a spent in here. A spent for my potato.
So you already had a bucket of compost in there?
There was already compost in there, yeah.
Another bucket of compost?
Yeah.
And now a spent compost?
And now a spent compost. This is purely because I am going to add quite a bit of fertilizers to these and feed throughout the season.
Yeah.
I'm not worried that I'm using spent, even though I am trying to achieve giants.
Okay.
So the fertilizers.
Oh, the old blood, fish and bone by Vitax.
So with onions, you give them a high nitrogen feed to start.
Can I see what you're adding?
And then in the middle of summer.
How many of these?
So I'm only going to add 2 because there was already some in there from when I did the strawberries.
Okay. So you would add 3 if it was
I would add 3. 3 shallow handfuls is just my standard. It's easier to add afterwards. It's harder to take it back out again.
Yeah.
So this is blood. Dried blood.
This is a nitrogen rich, yeah?
This is very high on the nitrogen, 12% it is.
This is 12%?
Yeah, and blood tends to be a very fast acting fertilizer as well.
Right.
So it is quite strong, so I'll do 1 decent handful.
90 litres of mix, so per 30 litres, which is 1 bucket, it's a shallow handful of blood, fish and bone.
I will be feeding these with a liquid fertilizer every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So this is just a base mix, just to get them going, basically.
No worries. And then 1 handful of dried blood.
So all my advice is coming from this book. If you can get a copy of this, I really would recommend it, because it explains on all of the veg, you don't feed with the same fertilizers the whole season. So for instance, the onions is saying to do a high nitrogen feed, and then in the middle of summer a high potash feed. So you're getting the foliage up. Once the foliage is where you want it, middle of summer, then the onion will start bulbing up. Then you need to obviously feed the bulb and not the foliage.
Okay.
But all of that advice has come from this book. It's a very good book, even if you're not intending to grow giants, because it explains how to feed and what to feed and when.
Yeah.
It's really useful.
So you're doing your giant onions in buckets?
I'm doing half in buckets, half in the ground.
Right.
Just to see if there's a major difference, because I've always done them in buckets before.
Okay.
But last year I did put them straight in a bed at the front, and I didn't really do anything special to them, and they still were whoppers. So these onion seeds I've actually saved from seed myself. I was fortunate enough that somebody give me 6 plants, and he's won a competition 16 years on a row at his local village show. So he gave me 6 plants. I didn't do much with them because I already had all my onions planted, and they were massive, biggest onions I've ever grown. So I then stored them, replanted them the following year, let them go to seed, and yeah, now I've got hundreds of seeds, which is why I'm starting them for the site. But what I will do is, whichever are the top 3 biggest, I will save, store, replant, and save the seeds from them, so I can just keep choosing the best plant and then keep getting the seeds from them.
Yeah.
Because the guy actually wasn't sure what variety they were, because he'd been saving his own seeds for so long.
Nice.
But I'm just going to fill these up to the top, plant the onion in it, and then I'll show you a support method, how we do it.
Okay, we'll be right back once they're full. Right, so we've got 6 buckets filled with the compost mix and fertilizers. Now it's time for planting.
So with these, 1 plant per bucket. This is a 30-litre bucket. They will grow amazingly tall. It really will be a surprise. So just pop him in. Little compact. And then unfortunately I have ran out of zip ties.
Yeah.
So I can only do this one as a demonstration. But
that's all right.
I will be doing the rest, obviously.
So what you got? You got 3 canes.
So 3 canes. I just got these little metal rings.
We just bent them out of wire off camera because there's not really much to show.
Them in. The reason you do it is because the foliage will get very large.
Okay.
And if it snaps under its own weight, it will just stop supplying the plant with photosynthesis and energy. So it is quite important that you do this. The first year I grew some giants, I didn't bother, and I realised my mistake pretty quick. So, like I say, I have ran out of zip ties. This is all I have left.
Gotta use what you got.
Yep, but I'll just get some more. But these I expect will get a good 3-4 foot tall. So I may even need to go bigger on the bean sticks.
Alright, we'll get this one set up, guys, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so the first one's been set up, and this is essentially what he's going to do to all 6. There's 3 bean poles. We've got 2 rings zip tied onto the bean poles to create basically a frame.
Just support structure, yep.
I guess they do tomato frames like this, don't they, Ben? You could probably use one of them.
It's quite useful. You can wrap string around, but I found in the past that as the foliage gets bigger, it's just pulling the string down.
Yeah.
So I opted for this. I will not cut these off because you can reuse zip ties. You just sort of get a little knife in there and just take them off, and I can reuse them next year.
That's how he plants his giant onions, in buckets.
In the buckets. I will just finish these buckets off, and then with the other 6 that's entering in the competition, I will show you how to do it directly in the bed.
Perfect. Let's do it. Right, man.
Right, everything's moved in. This is going to be their positions. This side, I've put the extra blood and the fish blood and bone down. This side, I'm actually going to try a different fertilizer. It's an organic onion fert. So
I'm
going to try it on this side. It says to put 2 scoops around the base of each plant, but I'm just going to rake it in.
That's going to be an interesting test. This side's going to be the actual onion fertilizer, and the side behind Ben has been prepped with blood, fish and bone and dried blood. Just a dusting over the top of the bed.
Just a dusting and a quick rake. Yeah.
Quickly raked in, just the same as what he's doing here. So 2 fertilizers, we're going to see which is best, basically.
I will be liquid feeding these the same. So this is just to see if it makes a difference at the start.
Yeah.
And I probably will put more fish blood and bone down in a couple of weeks time, and then I'll put some more of this down in a couple of weeks time, just to keep it fair.
Yep.
So whenever I feed one side, I will feed the other as well.
Nice. We'll definitely follow along with the giants.
But I am doing this whole bed as giants this year.
Warm in here, Ben, isn't it?
It is bloody warm in here.
What's the temperature? Do we know?
I haven't got one in here. So these are my competition onions, the only ones that I'm going to put into the competition. So I'm going to plant them along the back.
Yep.
Just so it's fair, I can definitely see that that's the ones for the competition, and even if these ones do go massive, I can't enter them, at least in that competition.
Well, the people in the competition, if they watch, then they know you're not cheating.
Well, they tried to ban me from it already. But
you might not win it.
No, I might not.
You've sent everyone the same information that you're using.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, everyone's got a fair shot. Good to have a bit of competition and stuff. They get everyone involved, I think.
It is. The association's just started back up, so it's a good way of just getting people together, and it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And like I say, growing like a giant onion, it isn't a waste of food, because you can still eat them the same. Whereas when I grew the giant pumpkins, you just don't use them. It's just for show. It's a bit pointless.
How far apart are you doing these, Ben?
I'm doing them quite far because I need to set up a frame on that one. So I got to have enough space that I can get my rings in.
Right.
And like I said, if all goes to plan, these will get huge.
Wouldn't you be better just sticking a bean poles in a line, front and back, and then just tying a string? But you said it sags.
It did work. It didn't work as well as I wanted it to.
So you're going to go with the ring method and bean poles on every single one?
Yes, unless I can find something
quicker and easier
in the meantime, yeah. But it doesn't take too long, so.
Not when your brother does it for you.
2 more. Oh, we're not going to fit them all in. But I do grow a lot of onions.
Wait, just move the buckets a little bit so you can get 3 along the back.
Yeah, I might have to. I want to keep them separate, just so people can see I'm not cheating. Yeah, I will do.
So he's got 6 in buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one.
I'll have to add some fertiliser. I didn't fertilise this bit. A bit further away.
Do you want the fertiliser now?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry. That stuff stinks.
You know it's good when it smells.
Whew, it's ripe, isn't it? So that's all his competition onions done. We have 6 in buckets, 6 along the back, so it's 2 on the left, 4 on the right, and for everyone's reference at the allotment, these are the competition ones. The others that he plants today are not going to form part of the competition at the allotment. Someone's probably going to want to see us video harvesting these as well when the time comes, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on all of these as the weeks and months go by, and we will keep you updated on their progression. We'll be back once everything's planted and you can see the final result. So I thought it'd be interesting to get the camera back out because he's sown these in a large seed tray and not modules.
Yeah.
So he's just going to show you.
With onions, their root structure, it doesn't just form a tangled mess. So to save on time, obviously these are looking a little bit sorry for themselves because they've been in there a bit too long.
Yep.
So
they bounce back?
Yeah, they will. Yeah, be fine. So this is one of the reasons I sieve the compost so finely.
Yeah.
Because doing it this way, I mean, you just scatter some seeds.
Tease them apart.
Scatter some seeds in a tray and walk away. It's as quick as that. Whereas doing them in modules, it just takes time when you've got so much to do. But you can't do this with everything, but onions, they are one where they just pull apart and you see there's no damage there.
Loads of roots on that. Yeah. Well, it smells lovely. It smells like spring onion.
Yeah, but you can't use these like that.
Oh, you can actually use them as spring onion?
Yeah. I do it all the time. And when they bolt, if they bolt, which they shouldn't because they're from seed, but it's called escape that comes up with the flower head, and you can actually use that as well. They're really tasty. Nothing goes to waste on an onion.
Didn't know that.
It's the same with garlic. You can cut off the garlic scapes because garlics always bolt. It's just how they grow. But you cut that bit off so the energy goes into the bulb where you want it, and then you just take that home and use it.
Yeah, nice. So that's just showing you, just tease them out nice and gently.
Just picking the best ones.
No need to be too rough.
No.
So you're picking all the best ones, are you? Knowing that you've oversown, you don't need that many.
Well, I wasn't sure how many people wanted to join the competition, so I did 2 trays, but in the end, just potting on what I potted on was more than enough. So
nice. I might take some home then if that's alright.
Yeah, help yourself, yeah.
Try some giants. I had some giants last year. They were unbelievable.
They were massive, weren't they?
They don't store very well. I've said that before in a previous video. Didn't store. They
but it's how you store them as well.
Well, the others stored alright. I tied them up in a string and hung them from the ceiling in a dry, cool area. The others stored fine, but those went mouldy first. So
I found
this season I will eat them first, basically.
Yeah, I found they store right.
Yeah, they weren't. I'm not talking a week. I'm talking they were a good couple of months at least.
Because when I did it the first time, I obviously had to store it all over the winter, ready for replanting. So yeah. But my onions now, that I've got probably 2 left, and some of them were giants as well. So I reckon about there.
You're not going to get many in this bed at this spacing, are you?
No, that's the only thing.
I reckon like 10.
Yeah, that's the only thing with growing the big ones. You've got to give them the space. I did plant these just as normal onions last year as well, and they did produce larger than standard onions. But yeah, you don't necessarily have to do it like this because I do have a lot of indoor growing space. It's not a problem for me.
No. Right, we'll be back once they're all planted, guys. There you go, everyone. So that is 31 giant onions planted. We thank you again for watching. We do hope you like, share, comment and subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for the follow along on these giant onions. See you again on the next one, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.